Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be solving some algebraic equations. So we'll start out with a simple example. We have 3x plus 7 is equal to a 22. So we're basically asking ourselves, what do we multiply 3 by and then add 7 to get 22? Or 3 times what plus 7 is equal to 22? So we can think of x in our minds and guess the answer, but this is because this is a very simple algebraic equation. But algebra actually has made it very easy for us to solve these equations, okay, and especially for complicated equations. So when you are asked this question, you can have multiple approaches. We can think of it as a game, okay? Whatever you do on one side of the equation, you do to the other side. So this is the left-hand side of the equation because it's on the left-hand side of the equal sign. This is the right-hand side of the equation because it's in the right-hand side of the equal sign. So the rule is, you can play the game. The rule is whatever you do on one side, you do to the other side. So if you add 1 here, you add 1 here. And that's always to maintain balance. Okay, so we're trying to solve for x, and the way we're going to do that is by making x the subject, or getting x by itself. So the first step is by subtracting 7. We can subtract 7 here, subtract 7 here. Okay, remember, if we subtract 7 here, we should subtract it here. Okay, so 3x is equal to 15. That's what we're left with. Now 3 times what is equal to 15? Well, we can leave x by itself. We divide by 3, that will leave x by itself, and that's equal to 5. Okay, so x is equal to 5. Alright, now let's justify our answer by plugging x back into the equation, and let's see if it's equal to 22. So 3 times 5 plus 7, what is that equal to? That's 15 plus 7, and that is indeed equal to 22, so our answer is correct. Okay, let's try another example. We have 11 minus 5x is equal to 26. Okay, so what we can do is we can have basically the same approach. Okay, we can subtract 11. So we have negative 5x is equal to 15. Okay, so how do I get x by itself? I divide by negative 5, and I divide by negative 5. So x is equal to negative 3. Okay, now if I plug in negative 3 back into the equation, well, we'll have 11 minus 5 times negative 3. Okay, and let's see if it's equal to 26. Well, 11 minus 5 times negative 3, well, 5 times negative 3 is a negative 15. Okay, now 11 minus negative 15, well, 2 negatives is going to give you a positive. That's 11 plus 15, and indeed it's equal to 26. All right, so let's do one more example, and this is a little bit different. Okay, so we'll have negative 1 plus x over 3 is equal to 7. So what we can do is we can add 1 to both sides. So we have x over 3 is equal to 8. Now, this is the same thing as x over 3 is equal to 8 over 1. And what we can do to get x is we can cross multiply. So we have x is equal to 8 times 3. Okay, x times 1, which is just x, is equal to 8 times 3. And that's equal to 24. So x is equal to 24. Now another approach is basically you have negative 1 plus x over 3 is equal to 7. Right? Now we can add these two terms, but how are we going to add them? Well, they have different denominators. This has a denominator of 1, and this has a denominator of 3. So how can we add these numerators? Well, they have to have similar denominators. And how do we get the denominators to be similar? Let's find the lowest common multiple. So what's the lowest common multiple between 1 and 3? So if we list out the multiples of 1, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Okay, and then we have 3, multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. So what is the lowest common multiple? What is the number that is common between them, and it's the lowest one? Well, obviously it's 3. Okay, so this one is already 3. Okay, so we have to change that one by multiplying its denominator and numerator by 3. Okay, so whatever you do to the denominator, you also do to the numerator. So negative 3 over 3 plus x over 3. And notice we did not change the term. Okay, we just changed it in a form that we can add this. Okay, but we did not change the value itself. This is negative 1 over 1. It's also equal to negative 3 over 3. Okay, so now that the denominators are similar, we can just add the numerators, which is negative 3 plus x, and all of that set it over the denominator. That's equal to 7. Okay, now we can use cross multiplying, so negative 3 plus x times 1 is equal to 3 times 7. So you have negative 3 plus x is equal to 21. You can add 3 and add 3, so you have x is equal to 24. So you have the same answer, just different approaches, and that is the beauty of algebra. You can have different approaches for the same question. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.